You know what, I do think that over the years I've kind of got over the whole I don't want to shoot the hotspots thing. It's a bit of an age-old debate, isn't it, with landscape photographers. I don't mind anymore. I kind of photograph what I want to photograph, and that changes with the wind, and I'm happy with it. But I do still think that you cannot beat a hidden gem location as a photographer. And in this week's adventure, it's one of those hidden gem photography locations that you're going to find me in. A very warm, a very bright welcome to the southwest of England and to the wonderful Exmoor National Park. So I actually got an email about 3 weeks ago now from a company called The Best of Exmoor. And this company offer holiday cottages down here in the wonderful Exmoor National Park. And they said to me, Henry, would you like a free stay in one of our cottages in exchange for showcasing a little bit of Exmoor to the world? And I said to them, yes, I would. Absolutely. Thank you. Cheers. That would be amazing. So myself and this company agreed on some dates, and they've put me in a gorgeous property on the coast of Exmoor for 4 or 5 nights. I'm so grateful. And on top of that, they've given me an offer code for you guys. If you would like to book anything through the Best of Exmoor, use the affiliate link in the video description below, or use this QR code here and use the offer code Henry Turner to get £30 off your booking. And have a look on Trustpilot and Google reviews for the Best of Exmoor. Honestly, the reviews are incredible. But yeah, another massive thank you to them. They are the reason why I'm spending a bit of time in this wonderful part of the UK. So I've just spotted a little bit of an opportunity for just a handheld photograph here. I'm not too sure at this stage if it's going to be up to much, but a lot of elements, a lot of components came together from the off. It was the sea pink, the sun that's peeking over the cliffs, the coastal path here that's leading out to the cliffs. We've got a lot of the sea on the right hand side of the frame, and it all just feels quite nice. I think the only thing I'm concerned about really is the top right hand side of the image. It feels just a little bit bare. It feels like there's a lot of sea and a lot of sky, and it takes up quite a large chunk of the whole composition, and I'm not sure if it's adding anything to the image or if it's just a lot of nothingness. So I'll have to make that decision when I get back. But I do think I'm just going to take the image regardless. I'm shooting it handheld really because my shutter speed has to be quick, because this sea pink down in the foreground is moving around. So I'm at 1/125th of a second. F16, very important because I'm trying to get a bit of a sun star because we've got the sun in the frame. And to achieve those 2 settings, I've just had to bump the ISO up to 125. I do think actually when you're a photographer like myself, where I'm so used to photographing the Lake District, a well photographed location, it's really nice to come somewhere and just have no expectations. It feels like I've got a lot of childlike joy. I just fancy taking photographs. I've no real inhibitions. I'm not really too bothered how they turn out. I'm just enjoying shooting a new landscape. Now we've just got to zigzag our way up to this little dip that you can see in the hill here, make our way across this ridge line, and then hopefully up there find something to help us photograph that beautiful looking sunset. I was just thinking, if anybody's interested in how I find these lovely locations when I'm in a place that I don't know, the main source of my knowledge actually comes from books. I've brought a couple with me. One of them is PhotoView's book for basically most of the southwest of England, and I've also got a wild guide as well. And I'll just sit in my cottage and, you know, not make a big plan necessarily, but just browse through these books and try and find locations that inspire me, try and find some good spots that will be good at certain times of the day, that sort of thing. Failing that, I'll browse Ordnance Survey maps and I might have a little look on the internet as well, see what some other photographers are saying, but I think we found a good one for this evening sunset. Also, if I spin you around again, you can see back over there to the north or the northeast, there's a little bit of cloud coming in and it looks quite stormy. And I'm not sure if it's going to make its way over towards the sun, but that is very, very welcomed indeed. We're hopefully anyway going to have a little bit of interest up there. So I think I've made it to where I'm going to spend the next hour, 45 minutes, however long until the sun goes down. There is a lump of hill behind Hughes, and I was going to go a little bit further up, but I feel like if it's not broken, don't try and fix it as well. I don't really know this spot, so this is looking good to me. We've got some craggy foregrounds to work with. The sun is dipping down quickly. There's a lot of haze, and we've of course got that incredible sweeping bay there. Unreal, man, unreal. So I'm going to grab a photograph from up here in, admittedly, a little bit of a panic. You can just see me there silhouetted behind this wonderful hazy sunset. And I've got an idea that's taken me all of 20 seconds to come up with, but it's a little bit of an insurance photograph. Oh, so my hay fever is absolutely ruining me at this pivotal moment where I'm trying to get a photograph. My eyes are streaming. I'm sneezing Exmoor down into the ground. It is carnage, but we're making it work just about. And I said this is a bit of an insurance photograph. Now what I meant by that is an insurance policy, a bit of a panic image really. But I'm aware that that sounds really negative when I'm using words like panic and insurance policy. All I mean is, I do not know if this light is going to last. I can't tell. So I am trying to get a photograph right here, right now, in the bag, on my memory card, just in case this is the best light that I've got. So I'm trying to use a few of these beautiful jagged rocks down here in the foreground as this diffused evening glow from the sun just hits the right hand side of them. It is wonderful. I've got the wide angle lens on once again. I think I'm zoomed in ever so slightly at about 15 millimeters just to try and get the perfect frame. We've got the bay here as it sweeps round from left to right all the way to the edge there to those cliffs. I was going to include the sun in the frame, but the problem was, if you look at this strip of light as the sun reflects up off the sea, it just didn't look good in the photograph, in my opinion at least. I'm focusing on the rocks down here in the foreground, stopping down to F11, and that will do me. This is the insurance photograph. It's probably going to be quite good though. It's probably a bit tight to call it an insurance photograph. Wow guys, this is incredible. Things have got even better. I think we're going to get an improved version of our insurance policy photograph. Let me just pop the Nikon Z7 on so you can see what I'm seeing here. Oh, look at that sun as it is dipping down towards the horizon there. That is absolutely incredible. It's got me thinking actually about a point that I wanted to make in this video about visiting hidden gem locations, places that aren't photographed quite as often. More importantly, places that are new to you. And it's all about going out and just enjoying the photo shoot. So many times I can think of in the past, especially in the Lake District, where I've gone out and I sort of know the exact photograph I'm going to be getting really, which can be good. It's not necessarily a bad thing. That can be good if your sole aim is to go out and get good photographs. But if you're someone like me, which I think most of us are, you want to enjoy your photo shoots. You want to enjoy your time out with nature. And that is precisely what we are doing here. This is phenomenal. But when you come to somewhere new and when you come to somewhere that you don't know very well, I feel like that happens very organically, very naturally. And I think my point is sometimes when we go to these hotspots and these popular locations, we expect to get a certain photograph, we go out and get it, and then we just come home. It's all a little bit machine-like. And especially when you get conditions like we've got this evening, it really can just be that sort of childlike feeling of awe where, I mean, of course I want to get a couple of nice shots here, but come on, this is absolutely sensational. This is secondary. This is secondary this evening. Wow. So the concept of this photograph really is going to be quite similar to the panic image I got before, the insurance policy. I've maybe just put a tiny bit more effort and thought into my foreground. We've got some of this bell heather down here. I'm trying one version in a landscape orientation, and then I'm flipping it round into a portrait just to see which one I prefer. I don't know if I'm going to have the sun in the frame. I think I'm going to try again with and without and see which one I prefer. But same as before, focus down in the foreground. In this instance on the bell heather, I'm trying to get the sweep of this bay once again. And yeah, the light is just wonderful on the rocks here, and this is special. This is special. Wow, look at that glow. The sun's been down for about 15 minutes, and I'm sure you'll agree that is still looking incredible. That peachy glow. I think I probably have to mention the obvious as well about hidden gem locations, places that are a little less visited, and it's just that, the less visited, the quiet. I've been here for 2 or 3 days now in Exmoor, and I've been around some of the towns, some other areas without my camera. And it is really quiet, and it's so beautiful here, man. It's so beautiful. It's got so much to offer. And yeah, that's just another thing. You know what as well? I think sometimes when you go somewhere and you know it quite well, or you may even know the sort of compositions that you want to get, sometimes I feel like that can work against you. You sort of like, you conform into a certain way of going about your photography, if that makes sense. When you come somewhere new, somewhere that you don't know much about, I go back to what I said a second ago, it's so organic. It makes me feel like when I first started doing photography, there was nothing to it other than, oh, I can't wait to go out with my camera and see what I can photograph. That's all I know, that's all I've got in my head. And that has been what this evening has felt like. Not to say that I hate it when I go out in the Lake District, not to say that you have to conform, you know, to certain compositional approaches or certain photographs, honeypot locations and the like, if you go to popular locations, but I feel like it's easier to fall into that trap if you want to look at it as a negative. But this has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for joining me. Another massive thank you to the Best of Exmoor for letting me stay in one of their wonderful cottages here. Like I said at the start of the video, have a little look at the link in the video description. Go and check them out. From the wonderful Exmoor, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.